Organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on this live Monday morning edition of Daily Iowan TV, April showers, one group of locals get together to clean up Mother Nature's mess. And later, see how Iowa City is reacting to the threat against minimum wage.
We have all of your Hawkeye sports recaps from the weekend.
More rain on the way. Find out more coming up during weather.
All that and more coming up. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good morning, Iowa City, and thank you for tuning in to Daily Iowan TV. I'm Nikki Crossway. We're starting today's newscast with breaking news. Last night, a University of Iowa student was found dead in his dorm room. Around 11 p.m., police officers found the student in his room in Dom Residence Hall. Although the victim has not been identified, he was found unresponsive and intoxicated when police arrived. UI police will be further investigating and giving updates. This weekend, unfortunately, began with a plane crash that occurred just west of Iowa City. The crash, which occurred Friday afternoon, killed 2 passengers, both locals to the Johnson County area. The victims were identified as 70-year-old Terry Kane of Iowa City and 56-year-old James Spicer of Cedar Rapids. While the family of one victim declined to make any major comments, the other stated KCRG that they believe a pilot issue was not the cause, as he was an experienced flyer. Officials are still investigating the crash and stated they will be giving updates on the cause of the crash. While the cost of housing and living might be improving, the same cannot be said for Iowa's minimum wage. In fact, the fight is just getting started to keep it from going lower. Daily Iowan TV reporter Christopher Cervantes reports with more on the issue.
Last week, it was announced that the Johnson County minimum wage of $10.10 was to be put to rest when Governor Terry Branstad mandated that the entire state's minimum wage be lowered to $7.25. This move at economic uniformity was met with nearly universal criticism by the citizens of Iowa City, who see it as a step backwards. As it stands, the idea of a business lowering its minimum wage down to the lowest possible rate has been met with universal criticism. That being said, what does this mean for the student workers if a business decides to go to the low road?
I definitely think that it's going to affect a lot of people negatively, since it was a reflection on the cost of living in Johnson County that they raised it to begin with. I definitely don't think that it's enough to really sustain yourself in a way beyond just like meeting your basic needs.
Iowa City businesses currently have a choice on keeping the wage at the current rate or lowering it to meet the mandate. With this knowledge in mind, the Center for Worker Justice of Eastern Iowa is now working to encourage business owners to uphold the higher pay.
We decide to reach out, because that's the only thing left to us. We decide to reach out to businesses in Iowa, Johnson County in general. And if the business agree, we give them a flyer, say like supporting the minimum wage 10-10, and will move our community forward. And this means, you know, they gonna keep 10-10 for their current employee and future hire employee.
With the current public opinion added upon the everyday pressures of running a business, Iowa City has some difficult choices to make. Reporting from downtown Iowa City, this is Christopher Cervantes, Daily Iowan TV.
Iowa City is planning to have more affordable housing following next to the city's housing grid adjustment. In neighborhoods just off of Court Street, Iowa City has a quiet environment and requires expensive housing. And the city plans to offer some affordable options with a city-awarded grant. The Mayor's Youth Empowerment Program will take charge by purchasing 2 lower-income housing units to assist disabled adults and implements affordable housing rates to them. Iowa City maps out locations where affordable housing projects can be eligible for grant money. Officials say they will put more affordable housing units all over the city because they don't want all low-income families gathered in one area. With the month of April being known for having its fair share of rain, some Iowa City residents have come together to clean up the mess that is left behind. Daily Iowan TV reporter Noah Gowdy went out yesterday to meet up with the group.
A group of more than 30 volunteers came out on Sunday to help in the efforts of cleaning up the area around Ralston Creek. Ralston Creek runs through the downtown Iowa City area and has been overrun with trash, wood debris, and so much more that it's making the area unsafe during rainy conditions. The volunteers all came out to work together in picking up trash and cutting down overgrown brush, all in the effort to rebuild the ecosystem here at Ralston Creek.
The reason that we do this is the more overgrown the banks are on a creek, the more difficult it is when it rains that it just continues to erode underneath. So what we're trying to do is establish grasses and plants that are lower to the ground and that will act as a barrier when it does rain.
Volunteers use gloves, trash bags, and wood cutting tools in the effort to clean up the area, with the group speaking about how the volunteers giving their time is more beneficial to cleaning up around the area rather than using chemicals to treat the issue.
We don't use chemicals along creeks because it actually causes a water quality issue. So we use volunteers.
Those that came to volunteer their time felt they were doing something good not only for the community but for the environment itself.
Well, I've always wanted to have the creeks clean for when I walk along them. So I decided this was a great opportunity, and I love the natural world, and so anything I can do to help, I'm willing to do.
There will be 3 more stormwater cleanup sessions this month that the community can get involved in. Reporting from Ralston Creek in downtown Iowa City, Noah Gowdy, Daily Iowan TV.
That's right. Last week did see its fair share of April showers. Let's see what this week has in store for us. Ryan Scott is standing by in the Weather Studio. Ryan, what do you have for us?
Well, Nick, it looks like we have more rain on the way, but looks like we have more rain on the way, but not yet. As we take a look outside, looks like you can just see the sun poking out behind the old Capitol building. We got a sunny day on the way with temperatures this morning around the low 60s. Moving on to our afternoon forecast, we're seeing temperatures in the mid 60s with partly cloudy skies. This evening, our temperatures will drop to the upper 30s with a 40% chance of rain. And tomorrow morning, we're seeing temperatures in the upper 50s, nearly 60s with cloudy skies. Let's take a look at our 6-day forecast. We're seeing more cloudy skies and rain in our forecast, so let's get to it. Tuesday, highs in the upper 50s, nearly 60s with cloudy skies. Wednesday, highs in the upper 60s with partly cloudy skies. Thursday, highs in the upper 60s, very nearly 70s with a 40% chance of rain, so maybe keep an umbrella on hand just in case. Friday, highs in the upper 60s with a 70% chance of rain, so definitely keep an umbrella on hand Friday. Looking ahead at our weekend, we're seeing an 80% chance of rain Saturday and partly cloudy skies on Sunday with highs in the low 70s and mid 60s respectively. So that's all we have here in the Weather Studio. As always, stay dry out there, Hawkeyes. Nikki, back to you.
With over 500 student organizations at the University of Iowa, what will one more have to offer? One international student believes a great deal. Daily Iowan TV reporter Jackie Valderas has the story.
When he was just a college freshman, Avery Quinn wanted a group of his own for international medical students.
I figure it's really hard for international students to pursue a career in health science, especially for pre-med and pre-dentistry, things like that, because our med school does not accept international applicants.
As a current sophomore, he believes he has gained the necessary leadership skills and knowledge to create the group FIA, the Pre-Health International Association, an organization where students can communicate their vision in the medical field.
So having like this kind of support group is nice, so we can all we understand each other's problems.
Problems that are oftentimes overlooked.
What I've seen, some schools, they say they accept international students, but they will offer interviews to 300 people but accept none.
FIA plans to bring in guest speakers and former graduate students to help aid the current students on their way to a successful career, as well as showing them what they can expect to see in their field of study. In the future, Quinn hopes the 4 programs, pre-med, pre-dentistry, pre-nursing, and pre-pharmacy will get individual attention and branch off into a specialized focus where FIA becomes a platform where they can all come together. From Iowa City, I'm Jackie Valladares, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, the rain didn't slow down Hawkeye sports this past weekend. Ashlyn Bauer standing by in the sports studio to give us the update on the busy weekend Hawkeye sports had. Ashlyn?
Thanks, Nikki. Well, it was another very busy and full weekend for Hawkeye sports. The Iowa women's soccer team hosted Drake University on Sunday for the 3rd game in their 5-game spring season. Taylor Cassian was there to tell us more about the results.
For the Hawkeyes, fall isn't the only time to play some soccer. The team took on Drake University here at home for their spring season home opener. They held Drake to a 4-0 victory, shutting them out and proving how hard they've been working this offseason. The Hawks faced 3 teams on the road before hosting Drake at home. They competed against St. Louis, Minnesota, and Notre Dame. They came out to play on their home turf with an impressive shutout against Drake. The game started off with a neck-and-neck battle, with the score remaining a tied 0-0 until the final 10 minutes of the first half. 2 goals were scored with less than 10 minutes left in the first half, one by forward Laura Laneson from outside the 18 on the left side. Forward Devin Burns came in with a header off a cross to send another goal into the net. This sent the Hawkeyes going into halftime with a 2-0 lead. In the second half, a cross coming in on the right from midfielder Natalie Winters set up forward Rose Ripslinger to knock it into the back of the net. The Hawks kept their defense strong, with goalkeeper Claire Graves making some impressive saves in the back of the box. The defensive line maintained their composure, giving Drake little attempts at the goal. Tough defense from the team as a whole, as well as determination with every step, led to a victorious shutout on their home field. The Hawkeyes will take on Kansas here at home on Saturday, April 22nd to continue their spring season. Reporting for Iowa Soccer, this has been Taylor Cassian, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Catch the Hawkeyes back in action on April 22nd for their final game of the spring season. In women's tennis, the Hawkeyes were led by Elise Van Hoevelen and Adorable Huckleby, who tallied a total of 3 wins for the Hawkeyes and gave the team a boost on Sunday's 6-1 victory against Penn State.
Although the Hawkeyes dropped the match against Ohio State, they came back with a big victory over Penn State, keeping themselves in NCAA tournament contention. Having been swept in their Friday duel, the Hawkeyes dropped only 1 match in an impressive performance on Sunday.
Penn State's a good, solid team, and I think we were able to really play well in some key moments throughout the match. And I've just been telling the girls I think they responded well when Penn State made a push a little bit in doubles.
Adorable Huckabee lost in a tiebreak on Friday to the 39th ranked team in the country, but responded with 2 wins against Penn State.
It gave us confidence to know that we can play with any team in the country, and that we have a big game and we should believe in it. Important for from a momentum standpoint, everyone is obviously really excited and really pumped up after a doubles win, so they carry that on to the singles court.
Hucklebee's doubles partner, Elise Van Hoevelen, also picked up 2 clutch wins for the Hawks on Sunday.
I think we just did a great job of coming back from the loss against Ohio State, and we just played calm under pressure. I mean, it was a close match again, but just serving it out and just being able to play big in those pressure moments. I think it just gives us confidence, as a team as well. It's just it was a confident win today. We played how we wanted to, we stayed calm, and we just trusted in in the process and the practice that we did.
Reporting from the HDRZ, this is Will Silverstein, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawkeyes play at noon today against Wichita State before traveling to Michigan for matches against the Spartans and Wolverines. In other Hawkeye news from the weekend, the Iowa men's gymnastics team had 5 gymnasts compete in individual finals at Day 2 of the Big Ten Championships on Saturday, and were led by senior Corey Patterson, who earned a silver medal on high bar, and the other 3 Hawkeyes who took the podium. The Hawkeyes traveled to West Point, New York to compete at the NCAA Championships on April 21st and 22nd. Men's baseball was also busy as they took on Northwestern in Evanston this past weekend. Coming off a 7-game win streak, the Hawkeyes lost the series 2-1 as the Wildcats took the last 2 wins on Saturday and Sunday. The Hawks are back in action tomorrow for their midweek battle against Western Illinois at 6:05 p.m. Tune in tomorrow to watch one of our reporters see what it takes to be a part of the intramural dodgeball team.
That wraps up our Monday morning newscast. Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news between today and Friday. And don't forget to pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan. I'm Nikki Crossway, and from all of us here at Daily Iowan TV, have a great day, Iowa City, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.